Hey, Viola Rules here, and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. So it's finally time for the class trial, so let's go ahead and get right into it. We're trying to figure out who it is in the garden, the bottom. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Oh yeah, that's right, we went to investigate Kyoko's room with Byakuya in the last one too. So yeah, we did. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Byakuya does have a point. Yeah, what else would we be doing? What else is ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you? Toko's jealous. What, are you jealous?
Hey!
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself? Probably a mixture of the two.
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Oh yeah, Monokuma usually shown up by this point. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But he stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10. Weird.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be...
Maybe he died again? Considering the fact that the dismantled Monokuma was still in the gym and a new one appeared, I don't think he can die. What should we do? Should we keep waiting here or... Or what? Hi, Monokuma.
What?
Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Wait, what? Huh?
In other
I'm waiting
words,
for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here, now can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
hey,
Kyoko, you are alive. I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Kyoko? Kyoko, you're still alive? No, it's a ghost! Oh god, Hero. Stop sucking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
is that
I
right?
made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? She's not wrong. You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. What did Kyoko do, other than steal from you? Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of ya. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko, so you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right, now we gotta deal with the ghost. Good God, Hero. I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Why do I get the feeling Byakuya's already set that Kyoko's the culprit? Master, wait for me! Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But...
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Okay, let's do that. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So...
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Ah. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. So there are no yes, like she said, there's no cameras or monitors, so there's no way that she could have heard the announcement. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. It took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? That's why she took so long to get here. So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, and that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other
I
words...
used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. Oh. What? Kyoko's account. Okay, so that's gonna come into play at some point.
Just a second!
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma! Yeah, she's on a point.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. Ooh. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her? Yeah,
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Sorry, I didn't read the last thing. I'm so distracted. Please, phone, just go away for a second. My phone rings during this video. I'm gonna be really upset. My mom just texted me. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the doors slid shut. Wow, this elevator is spacious now. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just sit there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Oh.
I can't wait! I can't
Is
wait!
the background different since the last time we were here? Or is it just me? Probably just me. I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills!
Let's get on with
Chills!
the show.
Kills!
And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. You have to say this every single time, Makoto. Yes, I do want to save. Overwrite that one. Okay, so I still have the skills from last time, so I think that's fine. Memories float back, Kyoko is gone, and a mysterious masked body appears. The threads holding them all together begin to spin and twine into one. Okay, whatever that means. Anyway, I want to finish preparations. I think I remember enough from the handbook to do this one, so let's do it. Class trial, all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial.
Again?
So, your votes will determine the results.
Yes, we know this already.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But
We did
if
find
you
out
pick
that
the
this is
wrong
being
one,
broadcast to the world, or at least that's what Monokuma told us. So I guess that's why he says this.
then
every single
I'll
time
punish
during the
everyone
review.
besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Okay.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim.
Okay.
First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
Yeah.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
My God, Hiro.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
Exactly.
No, that's a ghost.
Oh my God, Hiro. Are you really gonna make us go through this right now? Kyoko's not even gonna say anything. She knows how stupid that statement is.
She has legs and stuff.
So, is she implying that ghosts don't have a lower half or something?
Well, that's just because
I don't understand. What is this conversation
she's
right
like
now?
the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Same here, Byakuya.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
Yeah, for Hiro's benefit.
Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Exactly.
Her traits?
Yes. And we don't mean it in that way. One important trait that proves the body doesn't belong to her, piercing gaze face that doesn't make any sense, so it has to be her gloves. Because the body wasn't wearing gloves.
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
Well, we already know that, because Monokuma told
And
us.
would you happen to know the answer?
Yes.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
I wonder how she got those scars.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
Yep, that's correct.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
My god, Hiro.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Well, I know which piece of evidence we need. We need the tattoo that was on the corpse's right hand. If I can't prove why, we're going to be stuck here and the case won't move forward because Hiro's a numbskull. So I don't have any choice but to non-stop debate this. Even though it's extra stupid. Yeah, tattoo on the right hand. That's what I need. Or I need fake nails. Either one.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Right.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
No.
Then she
I'm
was
a
wearing
ghost.
gloves
Interesting
before
is
the
what that piece of
explosion.
white noise said.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I agree. Okay, I know which one I need to shoot. Okay, cool. And I need the fake nails.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Pressing control.
Okay, then prove
The dead body wasn't
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
Exactly.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
Plus, the whole point of wearing fake nails is to show them off, so why wear gloves to cover them up? That doesn't make any sense.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right?
Exactly.
It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you
That's also a
think?
good point.
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like
Oh,
that.
and you do, Hiro?
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Okay, so we've debunked that the dead body is Kyoko.
Then
now,
that's
right?
that. The dead body doesn't belong to
Are you
Kyoko.
satisfied now, Hiro?
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Byakuya sounds so annoyed.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
Which has already been said.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
I have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Okay. Now I need the tattoo on the right hand. Well, I'm pretty sure. Because that was the, like, you know, the feature that gave away who it
If
was.
Kyoko really is still alive,
If?
then who died?
Okay.
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition,
It's a true statement.
and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
There we go.
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
Yes, for real.
You're lying. You'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Jeez.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
How about no?
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
No, it's a wolf.
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Yeah.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No.
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yes. Try to search for other information. I need Mukuro's thing. Yeah, this.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad
Glad Byakuya was with us so that he can
would get a
confirm that
tattoo
what I'm
representing
saying,
Fenrir
is
somewhere
correct.
on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... What are we doing now? Oh, Hangman's Gambit. I need to spell out wolf, obviously. Okay, so what do I need? I need a W, and I need an F. F. Give me the F. Nice.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Yep.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Wow.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
Yep,
A
finally.
wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf,
Yeah.
which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir.
Means that the dead body is Mukuro.
So it must have been Mukuro.
Yep.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
Monica was still being controlled, so obviously no.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. No, forget it.
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
Exactly.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
She was the ultimate soldier.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
So does that mean Kyoko was wrong?
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Right.
If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
Yeah.
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
I find that weird though. It's really rare for Kyoko to be wrong. Has she ever been wrong once during this game?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba?
No idea.
She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Exactly.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
Well, maybe?
Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then
Wow, though.
who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
Kyoko got defensive.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Okay, so there's information that Monokuma doesn't want us to uncover right now, so that's why.
Please
she's,
limit all future prattle,
redirecting
chatter,
us.
and chit-chat as much as possible.
Okay, fine.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Family name is highlighted. Interesting.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
Okay.
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Yes.
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
I guess so?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Hero, can you just stop saying words?
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who though?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Well, that's what we
Get
have
a
to
hold of
find
yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
out. We have?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's me and Kyoko because
I got it!
we technically
You've
don't have
narrowed
an
it down
alibi,
to-
right?
Kyoko and me, right?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
Yeah,
The gym?
Kyoko wasn't aware of that.
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma.
right?
The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only
But-
ones without alibis.
I already told you guys I was sick in bed.
Are me and Makoto.
We got some
That's
weird
why you're
bug
able to
that
narrow down the list of
miraculously
suspects.
Got cured from it
Exactly so.
somehow. So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Darn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name. And Kyoko's name too, right?
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
What?
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
No.
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place.
Didn't we figure that out already?
Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the
Byakuya
garden
and
at...
I, Hero. Anyway,
Well,
carry
it
on.
was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
10 p.m. is the assumed start time.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
So between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. So that's when we found
Oh,
the
but
body.
what time did we find the body?
At 9
The
a.m.
one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
Right. What time was the body discovered at 9 o'clock?
I got it!
I remember that.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Right, and Byakuya gave her that time constraint. Yeah, flashback. Yeah, we saw this earlier. Yeah, probably 9 on the dot now. Go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the
Okay, so
morning.
that's highlighted, so there's something about that that's wrong.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30.
Okay.
I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
7:30. That time stands out.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Murder happened sometime between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay then, looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Okay, so... So either the start time or the end time is wrong. See sprinklers, right? The
We've
sprinklers go
established
off
a
at
time frame for the
7:30.
murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
Oh god.
and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, if you shoot the text that they're saying.
and
you can
Makoto
lose
doesn't have an
10 seconds.
alibi for most of
was
that
bad.
time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Okay. The sprinkler's bullet is definitely the one yeah, like he's saying. There's something that happens in the garden same time every morning. Thinking back, the park was almost totally dry. Okay, so the sprinkler's bullet is the one I need. That's for sure. In which case, I should be able to figure out when the body was to appear in the garden. So they're trying to say from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. I have no alibi. But if the body was in the garden before 7:30, the whole entire body should have been wet. Not just the upper half, which was only done when I doused the body in water.
We've established a time frame for the
I know
murder.
which one I need to shoot. Just starts
It took
coming
place
out.
somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's too early.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
I agree.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden.
Exactly.
The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right?
And Monokuma said that it can't be tampered with.
So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly.
What do you remember?
The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Oh, right. You got blown up, so you didn't see me douse the body in water, did you?
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet?
Good God.
How dare you spew such indecent words?
You're the one who said it.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
God, what is wrong with you?
Man,
Jeez.
you're totally wacko.
Yeah, I
If
know,
you
right?
really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence and that should do it. Okay. Here we go. Bullet time battle. Let's do it. I'm at full health, so I'm not too worried, but I usually lose health here. Tab to reload.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything.
Okay, there we go. Final strike. Let's
How
go.
can you say it?
This should prove it.
Okay, she didn't go negative on me. I was afraid of that. Okay, good.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Yeah, it was completely
The
charred.
top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the
That's why
sprinklers
we
got the
were,
body
like,
wet,
so
shouldn't the whole body have been
bothered
wet?
by that earlier.
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry?
My God,
What a
woman.
brutal maniac!
Anyway,
I'm so sick
can
of
we
her.
move on, please?
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Right.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
Exactly.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
Right, which means I have an airtight alibi.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Yes.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi
Nice.
after all. Good for
Unclear.
you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Well, we know where she was, but only where she claimed to be. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which means that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Ooh. Oh.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Oh, okay. Kyoko's got an ultra defensive.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Okay.
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
Trap.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me?
What do you mean now? We've been blaming you since the beginning.
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Why?
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
Ready to vote for Kyoko. I don't know, though.
I'm not the only one without an alibi.
Huh?
Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
What?
Huh?
What do you mean by that?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Oh, no. She's trying to throw us under the bus.
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
She did go to the crime scene to look, so...
Interesting.
Yeah. She's
I'm
referring
listening.
to the tarp.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting
then,
wet.
Kyoko, let's battle then. Certain something. Yeah, the tarp. Where is it? Where is it? There it is.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick.
Yeah, I have to. You're trying to blame and frame me.
You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that.
But
Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
wait.
The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean.
Something about that's not right.
This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
Okay, I concur with that, but something feels
But why
wrong.
would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place.
You're trying to say that it wasn't there before the sprinklers went off.
In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Okay, then. I guess we're gonna play this game. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp was... If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? And there was a huge blood stain on the body, but not on the tarp itself.
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
Can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everybody is gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Let's do it. Okay, so... body before the explosion. I don't see how any of this stuff... well...
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
I still doesn't make
But
any
the
sense
underside
to
of
me.
the tarp? It was totally spotless, right?
Yeah.
It's because that side was protected from the water.
Oh, oops. My bad. Darn it! Yeah, yes, I see. So what you're saying is, I have absolutely no idea. Okay,
Shoot!
whoops. I should probably listen to the whole conversation before acting first. Well, there goes
By
the
covering
chance
the body
to
with the tarp,
get through a trial.
The killer prevented
without
it from
taking
getting
any
wet.
damage.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
There we go. That's the one.
No, that's wrong.
I attacked too early.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
Yeah.
Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Exactly.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
So why didn't they wash the whole thing?
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, true.
I love that little sound that plays when somebody realizes that they're wrong.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers,
Okay, I'm listening.
they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
Ah, that's why one of the chickens.
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
Good thought, but no.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
For once, he didn't say something completely idiotic, but it's still wrong.
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Yeah. From the chicken coop. Chicken house. Chicken coop, chicken house.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
Yeah, one of the chickens was
When I
sick.
checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
Yeah.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken? And then covered the body with its blood?
Yep.
Man, that's messed up.
It is pretty disgusting.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Always thinking with their stomach.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
What?
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right?
Yes.
But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it.
Which is weird.
The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
Oh,
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
no, it wasn't. It had it on backwards.
I think
No,
so.
it wasn't, Makoto. Think harder.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
And also, technically, it's wearing the coat backwards.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Oh my god.
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the
Okay.
actual time the murder occurred.
I see what you're doing.
They
And
wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at
what she's
7:30.
saying is right, but she's still trying to frame us, so that's wrong.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
And my alibi becomes moot
But-
because of it.
To pull all that off, Wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Oh, man.
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Well, no.
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Because you asked me to help you bring breakfast to everybody else, and then you ran off without even helping me, I think. Unless you were carrying a separate tray, which I don't think you were.
Then he had
Ran
plenty
off.
of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
Oh,
I must
Here we
admit,
go.
Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
and we're back in the fire scene. Come on. The suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. This guy's dead body has been added. Okay.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square
Well,
one.
not fully. We did get some good information.
Makoto's
out of the
alibi
last
is
few
no
minutes.
good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did
It
it?
wasn't me.
Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin.
No.
50-50
I
odds.
may be the ultimate lucky student, but I'm not taking that chance.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
What?
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Oh, no.
The one we found stuck in the
I knew
body
this was gonna
before
come
it
back to bite
exploded,
me.
right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
Right, which was another reason why it was weird that there wasn't blood on the ground.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Yeah. It's the knife that we were given and told to hold on to for some odd reason. It's also interesting that Kyoko's the one who told us to hold on to it.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
Do you all have short-term memory loss or something?
You don't seem surprised.
Even my memory's not
You
that
must have
bad.
noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Then why did you hide that fact?
Because it would make me look guilty.
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
Also, it's completely blatantly obvious, so I should have had to say it. Oh yeah, we were also attacked with that same knife too. I couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed.
Oh.
The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Well, your percentages seem to be bad, so I'm not convinced by that. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. This guy's dead body. This guy's dead body must be the
The
one.
knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it.
To the whole
Makoto did it.
First, because last time I tried
Just because
to
I had the knife
accidentally, I messed
once, that automatically makes me the
up.
killer?
You make a very good point.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her,
No,
right?
it's not.
So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Whoever thought stab, that made me laugh. It's probably Monokuma. We've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead...
It's the same one we gave...
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it. Look, just because I had that automatically...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No.
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
Well, if you could actually use your brain, assuming you have one, you'd realize that it's not what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right?
Right.
In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Exactly.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
Nobody gonna point out that the coat was on the body, like, backwards? No? I guess not.
Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Exactly.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and
No.
once to cover it up.
Nope. The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The condition of the body was written down for everyone to see in the Monokuma file.
I got it!
Nice, back up
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Not surprised.
Then the knife.
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
The only way that they got it is because apparently we don't believe in keeping our bedroom door locked.
They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
That's highlighted. Okay, I'll put that in the back of my mind for now, I guess.
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Right.
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
Wow.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward.
Well, not manually, I don't think.
They meant for us to latch onto the knife as
Well,
the cause of death,
actually-
then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
It was said before that the bomb has to be armed, doesn't it? So I guess, yeah, they could have done it remotely, I guess.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but
What?
what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like
Are
that?
you really asking that question
If you
right now?
bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
My God.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Well, at least you admitted it.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Well, why can't you do it? You're the one who brought it up, right? Anyway, it's the fragment near the dead body.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Right.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
Because you have.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma.
Exactly.
It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
No duh.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto.
So does that mean I'm cleared now?
And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Yeah, what's wrong?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
I have a hunch.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate.
Okay.
It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We still need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Funny he says that because there's actually a concentration bar. Anyway, Monokuma File 5, that's not relevant right now, I don't think.
Then, shall we
I don't think
continue the
anyway.
debate?
Let's continue, yeah.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure,
That's true.
I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
Yeah.
Then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
I need that.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
True, but it was already stated that the countless wounds were days old, so not relevant.
Then, shall we continue the debate?
Yes.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Nope, we got it.
No, that's wrong! Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with
No,
it?
they were days
The Monokuma
old.
file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
So it is highlighted, so I guess keep that in the back of my brain, I guess.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, any
If they were old,
highlighted
I guess they
yellow
don't really
text is
matter.
always improved. It's always important. Improved? Really?
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The
I know what it
Monokuma
was.
file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
No.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Exactly. Also, there'd be blood all over the pickaxe, which there's not.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
I don't think that's possible.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
Also, wouldn't you damage your hands holding the pickaxe by the blade portion?
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Oh my god, Toko, calm down.
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
You guys are messed up.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
Yep.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Yep, I know what it is. The real murder weapon was... Where is it? This.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's
The
what killed
titanium
her.
arrows.
And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Yep.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Yep. So, I'm still questioning why they tied the duct tape around the arrows in a way that caused it to be bloodstained.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting because there's one more thing about that weapon, one more secret, which is the bloody duct tape. Yeah.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right?
Yes.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right?
True.
It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, that's wrong!
It is too thin until you combine a whole bunch of them together.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
So I don't know why we phrased it titanium arrow instead of titanium arrows, because there's multiple ones used.
Another weapon?
But, whatever.
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together.
Right.
Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe.
Right.
And that's exactly what the killer did.
Okay.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks.
I don't know this Aesop's fable.
One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Okay. I've read some Aesop fable, but I've never come across that one.
Damn, that's harsh.
What is?
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Probably not.
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
Yep.
I've never been to the dojo.
Well, that's not true. We've seen you in the dojo before. We've talked to you in the dojo before.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
Yep, the woodblock key that we found in Kyoko's room. What's the matter, Makoto? What?
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer.
I don't know if that's what's going on.
You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all. Remember?
Yeah.
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo? It must be connected to that dojo locker. Yeah, the woodblock key. Where is it? There it is.
I got it! The one
I went
thing
the
that
other way
proves
so you won't have to
Kyoko was
watch
in the
me scroll
dojo
through
is
the entire list.
right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Kyoko seemed surprised.
Don't bother trying to play dumb.
Huh.
That key is just the final piece of the puzzle.
Kyoko seemed genuinely surprised.
Your
though.
non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
Well, she's our friend.
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her.
What?
Kyoko, I want you to tell me something.
What is this about? Oh, yeah.
Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
You know what? I just realized something. I made a comment that the person who tried to kill us got into our room because of us not locking the door. But Kyoko said she has that like key thing that can open any door. So what if she unlocked her door and then the other person, whoever it was, took advantage of that?
I was just protecting you.
Oh,
What?
well, maybe never mind to what I said. I don't know what's going on anymore. She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... You shouldn't mean that, Kyoko. She killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
I'm having doubts too.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it.
Oh.
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
Oh.
I should know.
You rattled Byakuya. Byakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? Oh, right! Byakuya has her room key, so there's no way she would have been able to put the woodblock key in her room.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Okay, this is obviously not
Exactly
relevant.
what
I
I
need to
said.
copy something.
I'm not the killer.
That might be a true
You should
statement.
understand that
I'm
more
not
than anyone
entirely
here.
sure.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Okay, this is what I need to
Is
shoot,
that what
I
you're
think.
saying?
You
I
stated
need
a
to
theory
copy.
earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
That's what I need to shoot, the there's proof one. Wait, Kyoka gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean... Yeah, that there was
Those
no
words
way
you
that,
just
that
spoke.
she would be able to
Exactly.
get in.
I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya!
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Yep, definitely is.
No, that's wrong.
Man, if I didn't have that one mess up, I would have gotten through this.
If
without
I'm
taking
right,
any damage at all.
Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Huh? Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
Exactly.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in.
That's not true, though.
Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself.
The account you gave to us before we got on the elevator
Am I wrong?
means not. Well, yes, you are wrong.
it would appear not.
No, that was a lie.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, it's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just said, an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is our trap the Mastermind has laid for us. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? Makoto, you okay? What should I... I think Makoto's having a mental breakdown. The Mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro and Kyoko killed her? Does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it, but who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. So we can pursue the lie, we can let it go, or we can run away. I feel like running away would cause us to get a game over somehow. Let it go, or pursue the lie. The thing is, if I let it go, won't suspicion fall back on me and I'll get convicted? Because it is a lie, it's a bald-faced lie that she just told. So... pursue the lie. Do it.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you.
The burden of proof is on you.
So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko's definitely lying, and it must be because there's some other deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. Maybe? I don't feel good about my choice, but it's too late now. Can't turn back now.
I didn't have the key to my room
True statement.
because I'd given it to Byakuya.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Not true.
No, that's wrong.
That's the lie.
No. Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
I feel like we just failed a friendship test. Because, like, her whole thing earlier was like, you don't hide things from your friends. Remember she got mad at us for keeping Sakura's secret a secret? And she told us this secret that she had, and now we're using it against her, and I just feel bad.
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Maybe? I guess.
Then I guess that's it.
What?
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
Oh. I hear victory music, but I don't feel victorious.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it.
Uh-oh.
So I lost. That's all this means.
Huh? Then, are you saying you really didn't...
Oh no, she was innocent.
Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Time's up.
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all
Wait,
over.
what do you mean time's up?
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late
Can't
and
do
time
that.
ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
Oh, I messed up so bad.
But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Uh-oh. Okay. I like how the people who are dead are blacked out. Also, I just now noticed that on the slot machine, Monokuma's picture is on it too. That's odd. Good job. You got it right. Brilliantly right. We got it right? Does that mean Kyoko really is a killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko, we didn't mean it.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
This time, is everyone ready? Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Here we go. Kyoko's execution. Kyoko has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh. Oh my god. Wow. I mean, at least compared to the other executions we've had so far, at least it's a quick death, right? No, that doesn't make me feel any better. I still feel bad. Kyoko tried to warn us that it was the wrong choice, but after school lesson. Is she actually restrained to the desk, or is she just gonna sit there and take it? I guess she has to. Monokuma probably put some thought into people trying to escape the executions. Wow. Look at her face. Wow, she's actually turning blue. Does that mean she's not breathing? Or she's just that nervous? Oh boy. That didn't sound pleasant. Well, that's that, I guess. And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikasawa came to an end. I still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent, or regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial, and in the end it would prove to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Holt's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. Oh my god. Peace, but only inside the school. Wow. You remember when we talked to Hiro earlier and he said that he predicted that the mother of our children would be the same person? Yeah, this is what he meant. And that's just extra creepy. Also, Byakuya, what he's wearing just makes me laugh. Also, he's just holding a picture of Toko. So did she die, or she just did not want to be in this picture? She probably died. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope? Hope? This is hope?
No! This isn't right!
What? What's happening? Oh, we're back here again. Okay.
Makoto, why are you staring off into space?
Oh.
Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's
I guess
claim?
we fantasized all of that. Never mind, didn't have it for claim. Oh, yes, right. I have to. Do I expose Kyoko's lie or not? Okay, so this time we don't do that. Okay. She's not wrong. I have to think very carefully. What do I do? I decide right here and now whether or not to expose it. So let's choose let it go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. Okay, there has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact?
Yes.
I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
Okay.
But who else could it have been?
Yeah.
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You have to blame Byakuya.
You! What are you trying to imply?
Yeah, be careful. Kyoko and Genocide Jack will flay you where you stand.
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time.
Right.
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Yeah, you guys used the buddy system and everything, so no way.
Well,
he
someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of.
could've- What?
Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
Isn't this the same excuse that Leon used in the first trial when everybody thought it was me? So I kind of feel like I'm about to get executed.
It had to be Makoto, right?
No.
I don't see any other option.
What?
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Yeah.
Huh? A hidden side?
Exactly.
First
Being
of all,
played for fools.
there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you?
Looks like Monokuma didn't like us saying
Mukuro,
that.
who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
What? Okay. We're doing this again.
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
We got too close to the truth.
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
I like how Kyoko has the dialogue we had before.
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start
When
time.
does that ever matter?
So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Well, everybody thinks it's us at this point, so... But hey, we were successful. A's. A's everywhere. Nice. Cool.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
This isn't
Hey,
fair.
hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Okay then. Who is found guilty? I like how before it landed on us, it showed Sayaka underneath it, because the feel of this trial just like has the first trial's like vibe just all over it. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Byakuya doesn't seem happy with this conclusion either, but what can you do? Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. What? Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills! Chills!
It's time for your
kills!
heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko's so upset. Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Okay, then. Taking here, like, the desk should just, like, crush us and kill us. But, of course, we're gonna survive because we're the protagonists, right? Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Ego. Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Darn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would
It
seem...
seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other
What
words...
I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you'll never see him again. Yahoo! Waits away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. Well, thanks for telling everybody where I am. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you, bringing despair to the entire world. Well, is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what is going on? Is that the first time Byakuya's ever swore?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other
Now
words...
it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What
What are
did
you
you
talking
say?
about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Looks like Kyoko has a plan. Oh, we're back at the beginning. Massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. Is our life flashing before our eyes? Is that what's happening? Did we die from the desk crushing us? It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Havoc Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It is built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Havoc Peak a pretty fitting name. Does the Havoc Peak Academy symbol on top of the building look different to anybody else, or is that what it always looked like? There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you need to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. Unknown. Unknown time. Makoto? Makoto, can you come back to reality, please? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Okay, here we go. Now we're finally awake. Finally. I could finally feel my body and mind start to come back together again. And then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. I don't know, lucid dreaming can be pretty real feeling. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. What a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. and he used up the last bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up, we'll start looking for any way out of there. Okay, hey, it's the rocket that was in the opening cutscene to the game that I had to cut out. So, yeah, so you probably have no idea what I'm referring to. Unless you've seen other playthroughs that actually have that beginning scene in it that use the Monokuma rocket over there. But anyway, I'm going to end this episode here. Have you guys enjoyed this one? Give it a like. Also be sure to like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter, as well as support my Patreon. All 3 links will be in the description below. And subscribe for more. And if you are subscribed or a new subscriber right now, be sure to hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload videos. This is Viola Rules, signing off. Talk to you later.